I'm recording this for two reasons. One, so teachers can utilize this. I don't have to say the same thing over and over. All right, so you notice there's kind of a lot to look at. That, we have dental plans, eyeglass plans, long-term health, all these everything's available. But I just want to focus on the main part. This is just medical insurance. Okay, so medical insurance, and again, I've been talking about this quite a bit. So there's two different Kaiser plans, and I'll explain what those are. And then there's United Healthcare, two different United Healthcare plans. Kaiser is, you've seen Kaiser establishments around. It's fine, but it is what it is. Can you finish the quiz? Yeah. Cool, come on in.
You want to do it here or in here?
Yeah, you can do it at the table over here. So, there you go, sir. Yes, sir. So, of these insurance, let's just make sure that you understand. So we have employee only, we have employee plus spouse, so a married couple that doesn't have to carry kids. Dual employee means like Mr. and Mrs. Dertinger, they both teach the same school. Mr. and Mrs. McDavid both teach the same school. Mr. and Mrs. Gagnon teach the same school. So that would have to be like them, or if you taught in the same district, they fall under that plan. Employee plus children, so let's say I wanted to have my daughters on my plan, but my wife has her own plan. That could be anything, or it could be a divorce situation. Family, so if you want to just talk about me and then my wife and my kids, however many kids it would be on that plan. And then dual employee, family, and then plus children. Okay? So the dual employee, here and here, one is dealing with the rest of the family, one is not. So the Kaiser plan and the UHC plan are both $6,000 deductibles on insurance. Okay? And I know a lot of people fear that, but what did I say a federal law is about any kind of medical costs that you might accrue? No interest. And you can literally set up a payment plan. You can literally go in and say, I can pay 10 cents a month. I mean, I kid you not. Now, it would take you forever to pay for it, but there's never going to be interest on it. Okay, so these have $6,000 deductibles. This has a $2,500 and a $2,500 deductible. Now, things also to know about most insurance plans. Preventative care, meaning if you wanted to go get your flu vaccine or the next COVID vaccine or tetanus or diphtheria or whooping cough, it's called pertussis. If you get any of those types of things, or just a regular routine checkup, whether it's checking your blood pressure, if you're just getting a yearly physical, those are usually all covered almost entirely. And there's every now and then a handful of tests that they might want to do, a blood test usually, that might charge you a little bit more, which goes towards your deductible. And so the confusing thing about the teacher health plan, and I try and explain this, the teacher's contract starts in July and ends in June. Okay? The regular year goes from January to December. Does that make sense? So a lot of teachers really get, I have to come up with that a year. And it's like, yeah, so if you had major health situations first semester and you hit your deductible, that's great, but your deductible resets in January. That's tough for teachers to comprehend because we are on a different calendar because of how our years work as far as work as being employed. Okay, so if you have any, let's just focus on the employer only. 8160 versus 5306. Okay, so United Healthcare is less expensive, close to $30 per month. if I was going to do this plan for $2,500 deductible, it's $3,261, which that's pretty good. Look at this one. That one's $0. So, if what I would tell a brand spanking new teacher who might not be married, who might be 23, 24, 25 years old, getting into teaching, they might look at this going, sweet, my medical insurance is covered. Oh my gosh, I have to come up with $2,500 if I ever need medical care. $0 is a good price. Okay, now, if you come down here below, it says health savings account yearly contribution. Now this is a big bonus. Now usually a health savings account is put on me, the employee, to put whatever I would like into up to a certain amount. I believe the max is, federal government, I believe, allows you to put up to $7,200 per family or $3,600 per individual into the health savings account. Now look at this. So if I pay for this plan, I pay $81.60 a month, and the district's going to give me $3,000 money that goes into the health savings account. Same thing here. If I pay $53.06, the district's going to put $3,000 of money into a health savings account, which I can use that money to go towards my deductible, and that rolls over. Now, these other plans, these Kaiser plans, you know, $32.61 seems pretty good, but it's not eligible for a health savings account, meaning the district will not put money into an account for you that goes with it. Same with this one, the $0, you don't get the health savings account. So, what you know about me so far, what plan do you think that me personally, I'm the only one that's in, my wife covers my daughters on her insurance with CU Denver. What do you think I would go with? Go ahead. The third one. Why would I go with the third one? You're absolutely right. But why?
Because you're putting less money in, but you get the same amount of charity health savings account.
Yeah, so you're exactly right. I'm choosing this one because I'm going to get $3,000 put in. So if I go 5306 times 12, that doesn't equal 3,000. Okay? But I get to keep this money. It goes in the health savings account. When I turn 59 and a half, I can actually spend this money on anything I wanted, not related to health care. And again, the HSA, and I also put in more money of my own money, becomes a tax sheltered situation. Remember I said a health savings account is triple protected from taxes. So in my opinion, for me personally, this is my best plan. Okay? I'm paying roughly $30 less a month, and I'm still getting $3,000 put in for me. Now, this is where health care becomes really pretty cruddy. Okay? If I had to have my wife and my kids, so the family plan, this is how much I would pay a month. $1,224, yeah.
Is there any conditions where you have to spend the money in your health savings account?
Nope. It rolls over and it keeps building interest, and you keep putting it in, and you also get a write-off against it.
Like 7,500 or whatever.
So 7,200 right now is the maximum contribution a family can put into a health savings account as it becomes tax sheltered. I can't put any more than that in because I get penalized on it.
But it keeps collecting interest.
Keeps collecting interest, keeps getting bigger and bigger. It rolls over year to year. That's the difference between a health savings account and a flexible savings account. A flexible savings account, you have to spend it all by the end of the calendar year, or you lose it. But it's double protected, not triple protected. So, but if you look at this, could you imagine? You know, my take-home paycheck from this district, my base take-home paycheck is about $6,500 a month. Okay, so I'm dropping. If I had to put my family on there, I'm dropping a good chunk of my take-home pay to go towards medical insurance. Now, the nice thing is the district in this case will put $6,000 into this health savings account, which will allow me to put another $1,200 in to go against my taxes. So I can't count this against or towards income, and I can't count this, this money here will not, because the district's putting, my employer's putting it in, I can't take that away from my taxes. Okay, so that's kind of the situation. But if you go across the screen, look at this one. This one is $1,304 a month. I have a $2,500 deductible. This one is pretty painful still, $1,134. And then this one is, $1,194. So these plans over here seem pretty good. Now, what's the difference between Kaiser and United Healthcare? Kaiser's not everywhere. Now, people say, oh, Kaiser's really good. Oh, they have a great website. I can see all of it, blah, blah, blah. Well, do I really need to see all of my healthcare records, or do I really just want my doctor to know it? In my opinion, I want my doctor to know about it. So doctor to doctor, if I switch doctors, my new doctor would contact my old doctor, get all of my stuff, and it's all electronic now. It used to be folders of stuff, but now it's all electronic. So my doctor can see my information. This is throughout the United States. This Kaiser, I might miss a state or two, but it is in California, Colorado, Arizona, and there's one other state, I believe. Okay, so Kaiser is not nationwide, which means if I was on a vacation and I needed to see a doctor, I have to go out of network, which costs me a little bit more. Yes, it goes towards my deductible. What happens if, let's say I went on a trip to Florida and I broke my ankle and had to go have surgery, and all of a sudden there's a $60,000 bill that I have to pay. I don't really have to pay that. I have to come up with for $6,000, and then Kaiser covers the rest because it's our network situation. Okay, so Kaiser's not necessarily a horrible situation. It's just that if I went to United Healthcare is at almost at every hospital in the United States. So United Healthcare right now, if I was in Florida and broke my ankle and had to get surgery, they could pull up, oh, you're United Healthcare. So they get onto their computer and they're able to look and say, oh, here's Chris Sturp, he lives in Colorado, but here's his health record. Oh, it looks like Chris Sturp's allergic to this or that. Oh, it looks like Chris Sturp had gotten a tetanus shot, on this particular day, because let's say I broke my ankle and I, stepped on a rusty nail at the same time. And so, oh, you might need a tetanus booster. Oh, they can see I don't need a tetanus booster because I got my last tetanus booster this past year. Okay, so there's just different information. So this is definitely the one that I'm looking at doing for myself, okay, because it works for me. And the big thing that people freak out at is the difference between $6,000 deductible and $2,500 deductible is $3,500. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't come up with that next $3,500. Well, again, what did I say about medical expenses and a payment plan? It's 0% interest. So, yeah, there is a big difference in the deductible. But let's say I was on the family plan. Look what I just covered. My family plan just covered my deductible. Okay? If I'm here, I still would have to come up with another $3,000 in each of these situations. But it's not as bad as people think, and people freak out about it. My friends, insurance, especially life insurance, is built on emotions. If you went to a life insurance salesman, I can assure you, they will tell you you never have enough life insurance. You need a $100 million life insurance policy that's going to cost you $28,000 a month. Okay, I better get a big old policy. Okay? It's a game built on emotions. If you can look at this stuff and not put your emotions into it, you can make financially a really good decision. Now again, I'm going to tell you that the majority of the people in this district are going to be picking this plan here. One, we've had Kaiser for a long time, so I don't know if I want to switch doctors. Well, I've been with Kaiser ever since I've gotten into this district 7 years ago. I have never once seen the same exact doctor when I go get my physical each year. Okay? So when people are like, oh, I don't know if I want to switch doctors. Again, I've never seen the same doctor for the past 6 times I've gone. I've never seen the same doctor when I get my yearly physical. You know, blood pressure, draw a bunch of blood, make sure I'm breathing, you're good to go, get out the door, see how. So I don't claim that I have to have Kaiser. Okay? And a lot of people are like, oh, it's such a pain for me to switch. It is, because I will be switching, because last year was only these 2 Kaiser plans. Now they've offered 2 more. Me switching to this, oh, I gotta find another doctor. Gee, you have to pick up the phone, or in the catalog that they're gonna send me, or it'll be electronically sent to me. I go and say, hey, that doctor's real close. I'm gonna log on, new patient, click, and it's either gonna say doctor is accepting new patients or not. Oh, they're not accepting new doctors. Oh, I'm gonna go back a page, and I'm gonna go, oh, that doctor's close to me. Click that doctor. Oh, this doctor is accepting new patients. Cool. I want to make an appointment for a physical. Done. Oh, that was hard. That was really hard for me to click back and forth on the computer. Oh, my doctors I've had for years are going to be mad if I leave. Yeah, I know. You know, that gastroenterologist that's making $680,000 a year on average is really going, man, I wish that guy would have stayed with me. Oh, they're making how much money regardless if you're there or not. Okay, so, you know, the thing is, it's nice to, you know, when you first start having kids, it's nice that you have a common pediatrician, but that's also built to emotions. You find a pediatrician that your child feels comfortable with. They're nice and compassionate. Guess what? Every pediatrician is going to be the same. They're going to give you a lollipop, or you get to pick something out of the little treasure chest at the end of the appointment and make you feel good. Yes, we might have to give you a vaccine. There's ways we can give you vaccines with the smallest needles available. Don't look. You want to know how a lot of doctors do vaccines? Can I touch your shoulder? So a lot of doctors don't look. It's done. Okay. Kids have anxiety with needles. Sure. People have anxiety with needles. Sure. But, you know, it's not a bad thing. So, this is kind of a continuation of what we talked about last week. Now, let's talk about another scenario that is no longer related to this. Let's talk about Vegas. Okay? So, I went onto a Vegas website, and every one of the major casinos, the least amount of money, profit that a casino made last year was about $2.3 billion in profit.
Just in Vegas or in Vegas?
Just in Vegas. That was the lowest of the major strip casinos. MGM, Excalibur, Luxor, New York, Caesars. But that was the minimum. Now, Mandalay Bay, a little bit different clientele. The Wynn Casino, a little bit different clientele. They were in like the 17 to $20 billion in range in profits that they were making. Of those profits, about 80% of the profits is made from gambling. Whoa. Now, I learned a long, long time ago, a guy named Johnny Capita, who grew up right next door to my mom in New Jersey, was one of the accountants for Circus Circus. And I remember in 1978, we drove from Phoenix to Las Vegas, and we met with Johnny. Johnny was a good guy. I'm sure he still is. He's probably retired now. I haven't seen Johnny in a long time. Okay, Keith and Brenda are his kids. Brenda, the sad thing is, there was a flight that went from New York to London that exploded, and Brenda was on that flight. So really sad for her. That happened in 95, 96. So that was pretty unfortunate. So I'm just giving you backstory. So Johnny took us to this wonderful Italian restaurant, and it's off the strip in Vegas. It's called Leaning Tower. Leaning Tower was a mob run, so a very Italian run, because it was the Italian mafia.
You give us
Restaurant. Huh?
You give us an accent in this part of the
Did Johnny have an accent?
Johnny did.
Like, how heavy was he?
He's like, hey, how you doing? You doing okay? It's good to see you, huh?
I love Johnny.
That's exactly what I wanted.
I think we found a new Rex.
Yeah. So,
Yes.
so we're at the Leaning Tower,
I want Johnny to have it.
and Johnny says, hey, is my mom and dad, myself and my sister, and Johnny and his family. So there's 8 of us around this table. And I remember I was like 8 years old, and Johnny goes, hey, you guys trust me? Huh? Trust me? My dad's like, sure. Here it comes, what do you have? Well, I'll have the deal. Oh my gosh. I remember that veal you could cut with a fork. Oh, it was good. Now I know some of you are like, oh, you killed a baby cow. Okay, you know, I didn't kill it. I ate it, but I didn't kill it. Johnny might. So at dinner, I remember Johnny was talking about the profits that Circus Casino was making at the time. And Johnny said, the nickel slots alone cover 100% of the overhead. So all of the expenses of the casino, just on the nickel slots alone. That's how much profit was being made by these casinos. They have the slot machines, the old ones were done on ratio payouts. The nickel slots were called type machines. The higher denominations you play with in money are called looser machines. Not everybody back in the 70s was willing to drop $5 and pull the one-arm bandit. And yes, they have all these new slot machines that are digital and stuff like that. But not everyone was willing to drop $5 in, because $5 back in the 70s was kind of a lot of money. Okay? Especially if you're going one after the other. Okay? But the nickel was different. Give you a big old cup, $20 in nickels, put a nickel in. Nope. Another nickel in. Pull the arm. Slot machine would go. Every now and then, oh yeah, I won 19 or 20 cents. Yay. How much you put in? Oh, I put 300 nickels in to get 4 back. Oh yeah. Oh. And I got free drinks. Oh. So Vegas is a money-making metropolis. So let's talk about some of the games. Let's talk about, there's a game called Roulette. Okay? And roulette is basically a circle. It's a wheel. And you have numbers. You have 0 and 00. And then you have some sort of pattern of numbers in there. So you have 0, 00, which you can land on. And then you have all the way down to 36. Okay? Now, if you ever hear somebody that says they have a system to beat the house in Vegas, they are lying, or they've rigged the slot machines to pay out in their favor, which they're going to catch their cheese, yes. Are there some people that got away with it for a while? Yeah. Are there people who never get to go into a casino again? Yeah. So this roulette wheel basically how it does, they spin the wheel, they roll the marble the opposite direction. You can bet on any number. You can bet on rows and alleys of the numbers, which pays a smaller amount. You can bet on first third, second third, third third. So the first third is you could bet on 1 through 12. Second one is 13 through 24. And the third is 25 through 36. Okay, so the nice thing about these is this pays you 2 to 1 if any of these particular ones hit. 2 to 1. Okay, meaning you bet 5. If it hits in that region, you can win 10 and take your original 5. So now you're walking around with $15 in your pocket. Okay. If you decide, hey, I want to bet on a number. Oh, 7's my favorite number. So I'm going to put $5 on it. This is going to pay, depending upon the casino, it's going to pay you 35 to 1. So if you put $5 down, multiply 5 times 35, that's what you could win. Hey, that seems pretty good. Okay. Now, the thing is, there are 36 normal numbers, and you have 0 and double 0. So there's 38 different outcomes that could take place on that table. But they're paying you out at 35 to 1. Okay. Some of the tables are as low as 32 to 1. They adjust it. You kind of have to watch the table that you go to or the casino you go to. This is not a very likely game that you're going to hit, but they like to put up the idiot boards. Oh, and then also on roulette, you can bet on red or black. Okay, and this is a 1-to-1 win. So if you bet 5, you win 5. So if you bet on red, you put a $5 bet down. If it's red, they give you $5. You pick your other $5 up, so you're walking away with $10. Okay, less than half of the colors are red, less than half are black, because you have your 2 green, your 0 and double 0 are actually green, so they don't count into the red-black category, but they do take away from you. So these would be green spots. Now, I have noticed that casinos now also have a logo spot on the wheel. So it went from 38 outcomes to 39 outcomes. And when I say a logo spot, you would have the logo of the casino as one of the spots on the roulette wheel. Okay? So this particular game, it's a lively game. You have people that are dropping their chips all around on the board. And usually what you do with roulette is you could say they have a whole bunch of colored chips that they'll give you. So I might be the light blue chip person. The person next to me might be the green chip person. The person next to them might be the purple chip. And what the casino does is, let's say I want my chips all to be at $5 each. So they're going to have a green chip with a $5 chip on top of it, meaning that mine are worth 5. The guy next to me might be, feeling luckier, and he's going to say, well, I want mine worth 10, or the guy next to him, I want all my chips worth $25. You give you $1, of course. But the problem with the dollar ones, a lot of people find themselves getting in trouble because the minimum bet on the table, especially on a Friday or Saturday night, is usually $25. Excuse me, $25 minimum bet per table. Okay, so meaning if you have dollar chips, you have to have 25 chips out on that table to be betting. Okay, if you have $5 chips, you have to have 5 chips out there. You can have all 5 chips on one number or not. And so if something hits, they will put this little marker on, hey, 7 came up, any numbers on 7, you're going to win. Now, how the table is also set up is you can do a corner bet, and a corner bet is kind of like this. So let's just take the 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can do a corner bet here. It's going to give you a lesser payout. You can do a side bet here, which is going to give you a half payout on that. Or you could put a side bet here, so you're betting on any of the other numbers in this row, or you put a bet up here, bet on any numbers down that column. They call them, I think it's streets and alleys, I think is the term that they call. But those are different payouts. Now, my goal when I go to Vegas, and this is how they make it kind of uncomfortable for situations. You get people that want to go to the show. I want to go see the show. Yay. And you have all these doors for the show that you can go in. And then right outside the show, in the hallway to the show, they have slot machines. Okay? Now, the thing is, they tell you, hey, we would like you to show up 30 minutes prior to the doors opening. Okay? Now, they want you to show up 30 minutes prior to the doors opening because, one, they want to have a head count to know if they can sell any additional tickets. You usually check in at the box office. Check in at the box office. Yeah, we're here. You say, go wait in here. So you have all these slot machines that are all along here. Now, the only place that they have chairs going into the show is you have a chair in front of a slot machine. And if you go and sit in a chair because I just want to sit here and wait, security's going to come up saying, excuse me, are you using this machine to gamble? No, you cannot sit here. Okay? So now you have Aunt Edna, who's been on oxygen since 1968, who's with y'all. And Aunt Edna needs to be able to sit down. Well, if she's going to sit down on the slot machine, she's expected to be playing the slot machine. Okay? So they have all of these things put in place for a reason. They want to have a convenience for you to have a slot machine to play at. Oh, did you want to sit down? Oh, yeah, sit right here. Make sure you're gambling. Oh, you can go ahead and sit there. And, you know, the unfortunate thing is that a lot of people have, you know, they want to argue with the casino, you know, oh, she's Aunt Edna's old, she just needs to sit down. It's not our problem. Okay, and they play it pretty hard that way. So as you're waiting in this area for the show, you have a long array of people that are on either side. Now, here is the sick and perverted thing that the casino will do. Let's say they have a show. Let's say you're in Vegas. I gotta see Celine Dion. I can't wait. It's gonna be awesome. Over at Caesars. So you're waiting for the show. Well, the casino's watching all of those slot machines, and they start realizing, oh, we don't have anybody playing the slot machines. So they actually have people that they call clams. Okay, and a clam is a fun job to get in the casino. You're not paid for it, but what the casino does with clams is say, hey, here's a whole bunch of money. We want you to go and play at those games. If you win anything, that's great. You just put it in your thing. It's not your money. It's the casino's money. But what they'll do is they start putting clams, people who are just there to gamble, but they're not gambling their money. So they're going to say, we want some clams to be sitting at some of these machines playing. Because as these clams are playing, the machines first off make all these noises. I mean, that's literally what you hear in the casino. And you got somebody playing, and you hear ding, 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 you know, all these different tones. And it's like, oh my gosh, look at that lady over there just won money. Well, that lady right there is not going to the show. That lady right over there might be a clam for the casino who is gambling with the casino's money to entice people to go, oh, look, these machines have hit too. Okay? So those clams are going to go up to the machines and be playing it, and they're going to be hitting a little bit. And so all of a sudden you got these 3,000 people that are waiting to go see the show, and you have these 80, 100, 200 slot machines that are right there in this hallway, and these clams are playing on the machine to generate interest, and the noises that slot machines make are very soothing tones, and they do that for a reason. Okay, so all of a sudden you have 3 or 4 clams that are amongst these machines that are playing. So then you get somebody else going, oh man, I got $100. I'll put $100 in the machine. I get 100 credits, $1 each time. And then now that person's not playing. Now another person is going to join. Another person's going to join. People are now joining because they're seeing these clams, and they don't know they're clams. They think they're regular people. These people are playing these machines to draw you into play. Now, I was fortunate enough. Did you get all done?
Yeah.
Thanks, sir. I get that graded next by fifth period. Cool. Thanks, bud. These clams, I got to be a clam many times. Okay? And I didn't necessarily go to the slot machines. My department coordinator at my first school was engaged to one of the higher ups at MGM, and we went and became clams at the casino. And they would give me a rack of probably about $1,000 in chips to go out to the tables. And we went out to the craps tables, the blackjack tables, the roulette wheel, high gown, 3-card poker, Caribbean stud poker. There's all these different games. So, and I was told, if you run out of chips, just come back and find me. I'll give you a whole nother thing of chips. Please tip the dealers like you're a normal player. I couldn't drink anything alcoholic. I could only have sodas and water. Okay? But the casino people didn't know I was a clam. They would see me walk up with a rack of chips. I would just start gambling at a table with the casino's money. Me and Gail didn't know how to play craps. I'm like, hey, you gotta come learn this game of craps. Oh, okay, let's go check it out. So I was showing Gail how to play craps. So now you have Gail and Ira sitting at a craps table. And then other people see Gail and I at the craps table. Oh, cool, there's some action at the table. People start joining the table. So now you get 11, 12 other people around this table who are now gambling. The casino's not losing any money other than a couple dollars here or there that goes as a tip to the dealers. So think about this. Maybe I have $30 worth of tips that I've given to the dealers in a couple of hours, but I've generated 11 or 12 people to come join the table who are losing their money at the table. It was a lot of fun because, one, I got to learn how to play all the games. And knowing statistics a lot better than others, I would sit there and try and figure out the advantage I could have playing certain games. And the thing is, the casino has the advantage because they have the odds pay out in their favor, The reason why they're making billions of dollars on gambling alone. And it's such a weird thing to have this type of thing. Now, there's another group of people who the casinos have realized they are the down and out on their luck people. They are, for some reason, the unluckiest people around. And they call these people coolers. And I kid you not, I've watched this so many times happen. You can always spot a cooler because, one, they're completely drunk. Okay? In the casino, oh, I know you like your alcohol. And they sit there and get this person drunk. Okay, all they need you to do is I need you to walk up to table 7. And I need you to splash the chips. I mean, you're going to knock people's chips over. So you have a table that kind of in craps, it's going towards the roller's favor. It's a hot table, and you watch this clam. They'll screw away, and they'll throw their money down the table, and they'll knock over people's chips. 7 out, and the table goes from being relatively hot to cold instantly. And I kid you not, these people exist in Vegas. They are people who have bringing the deed to their house, the deed to the title to their car. They've lost everything. And the casino, I keep you happy, we'll feed you alcohol all night. And I just need you to go to those tables and splash the table. And they are unlucky people, and they just create a bad vibe. And you watch the tables go from being hot to going straight down to being cold. They're the same people at the hot blackjack table. You're sitting there playing blackjack, and dealer's showing a 6, So you're thinking they have 16, so you're hoping they take the next face card, so they bust. That guy will be showing 19. Hit me. Face card. Oh, you lose. Next card for the dealer, a 3. You know he's got 21. You're like, are you kidding me? This guy just took that guy's face card. These people, they've got it figured out to a science. And it's absolutely incredible to watch, and it's just a crack up. So my main advice to you is if you choose to go to Vegas at some point in your life, do go. Don't ever gamble more than you can't lose. Look at what you're doing as entertainment only, and you're going to have fun. Friends, have a great weekend. Take care of one another.